Oh, stop the foolishness. Yes, it is.
Stop the foolishness.
Stop the foolishness. Jared just called me fucking stupid, so I wanted to get.
Peyton said he looks like Charlie Kirk, so
I do not look like Charlie Kirk. Stop putting words in my mouth that I did
you
not
said
say.
that. You did say that.
All right, audience. I did not say that. You heard it. He said it first. He said
Hello,
it first.
everyone. Welcome to a special episode of Has to Do with Spider-Man, I think, where we are going to be sharing our thoughts on the newly released Marvel Studios Spider-Man: A Brand New Day, starring Tom Holland, Zendaya, and John Bernthal. Joining me today are my fellow hosts, Jarrett and Peyton.
Hi.
I am Jarrett.
And I'm Noah. Hello, everyone.
Dear God.
This movie was all right.
Do not start like this.
All right. Why don't we start off with talking about the fact that some of us are about a day or so out from seeing it, and some of us have just seen it like yesterday. So it's not really fresh on my mind like it was, and I also have not wrote my Letterboxd review. But I'm sitting here like I did really enjoy it, but I kind of want to know y'all's general thoughts around the Spider-Man movies. We have spent such a long time talking about this podcast, so I think the thoughts of the Spum. Everybody kind of knows our opinion on the different Spum movies. But what about the Tobey movies, the Andrew movies, and now Tom's 4 movies? What do y'all think of those?
I think we've spoken a little bit about this in our bonus pod, but in one of our most recent bonus pods. But our live action Spidey rankings are insane, and some of them have very white hot takes. Mm-hmm.
Mine are normal.
Oh yeah, pull it up, tough guy.
Yeah, what are yours?
Let me write it out.
I'm gonna look and see about my. I want to see my different.
I'm currently in the middle of a watch through of all of the pre-MCU Marvel, though. We actually skipped Howard the Duck. We'll come back to that eventually. But
I've seen Howard the Duck. It's awful.
I'm sorry.
I've seen it too. I liked it. 3 stars.
Dude.
What?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. I'm looking at the Letterboxd review right now. It says Howard the Duck, 3 stars.
You make me sad.
Okay, the first half of it's like a comedy, and then the second half is a Lovecraftian horror. What's not to love about Howard the Duck?
That's bad.
There's
bad combo.
There's duck boobies.
There
are, in fact, and it's terrible.
That is a bad this thing that you just pointed out as a plus is actually a big negative.
It's like Sleepless in Seattle meets The Thing.
What?
I cannot recommend Howard the Duck enough.
This is the same guy whose favorite Sony movie is Let There Be Carnage.
Oh, stop the foolishness. Yes, it is.
Stop the foolishness.
Stop the foolishness.
Victorian England. Stop the foolishness.
Please stop, you uncouth
rapscallions.
I saw going to a fancy restaurant and ordering the Sloppy Joe. No, babe, you can't do that. My mistake. I'll order the uncouth Joseph.
The uncouth Joseph. Oh my god.
Y'all ready for a crazy live action Spider-Man ranking?
Yeah.
Bearing in mind that the next movie in our pre-MCU Marvel watch is the original Raimi Spider-Man, I'm hoping this ranking will change as I rewatch them all. My least favorite Spider-Man movie, we're not going to count the Sonyverse films here, is Far From Home. Going up from there is Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, TASM 2, TASM 1, No Way Home. Oh, Homecoming is between the two TASMs.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
Wow.
Oh, Brand New Day is at the tippy top.
I don't really have a definitive ranking. All I know is that Spider-Man 2 is on the bottom of it.
We have this conversation
really bold.
We have this conversation every now and again with a friend of ours.
Oh my god.
I find the Raimi films to be too heightened in tone and atmosphere. I appreciate them for what they were doing at the time. I'm sure that at the time people were like, this is just like the comic books I read as a kid in the 80s. Doesn't work now. Doesn't work. People are like, oh, but all of the like standout background characters. I'm like, yeah, they're supposed to be background characters. Don't talk. Why are you? Don't talk.
Nah, I'm gonna come to the defense of that kind of tone. I think I am not a Raimi purist by any stretch of the imagination, but I really do appreciate and respect those films a lot, and I really like Spider-Man 2. I think that they were necessary to really bring about this kind of respect for comic book things in their own tone, like taking them as like not being ashamed of being a comic book movie. These were kind of not since Reeves Superman was that tone like actually leaned into in that way. There's an argument that Burton Batman, I guess the last one that really leaned into that tone in a way was Batman and Robin. That I guess so.
Bad movie. Considered bad for that reason, actually.
Very much so. I haven't seen Batman and Robin. I'm working on that this year. But I think that when it comes to the Raimi movies, I think the tone works for those movies. It makes the world feel, like you said, extremely heightened. I understand if it doesn't work for everybody, but I think that the civilians especially and the world of that kind of New York really, really works for me.
When that guy yells, "Hey, Spider-Man stole that guy's pizza," I audibly respond with, "Please never speak again."
He stole that guy's pizza.
Die.
I can't agree with that. I can't agree. He really did he stole that guy's pizza, and that man was trying to let him know.
No, he did not try to steal that guy's pizza. You're speaking on things that you don't know anything about. Shut the hell up. Anyway.
That's crazy.
My ranking, bottom to top, is TASM 2, TASM 1, Spider-Man 3, Far From Home, Spider-Man, original recipe, Spider-Man 2, No Way Home, if we're counting animated, Across the Spider-Verse, then Homecoming, Brand New Day, and at the very top is Into the Spider-Verse.
Did you say Into the Spider-Verse twice?
Across and then Into.
Okay.
Into is my favorite Spider-Man anything that has ever been created.
Both Spider-Verse films are in my top 3 right now, but I have Across higher.
I can respect that.
With Brand New Day between them.
Brand New Day
is amazing.
It was okay. It was all right.
Are we 2 for 1 here on the It's Aight?
No, I adored it.
I was about to say we cannot.
I'm just carrying Peyton's bit because sometimes he needs somebody to sound like he's agreeing with him. And
Thank you. Oh, thank God. Yes, you're so right.
It makes his day. If even one person pretends like they're doing the bit with Peyton, it's like enrichment for him. Gets his tail wagging, gets his tongue drooping.
Can we talk about the movie, please?
Sure.
I think it's all right.
Are we for real?
I think I would probably give it about 4.5.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
It's like I do have some light problems with it. I think are we gonna try to do a spoiler-free review initially and then get into spoilers?
It could be beneficial to do like 5 or 10 minutes of spoiler free, but we can't not get in spoilers.
Right. Okay, so my overall spoiler-free thoughts is I think it's really a great return to form for Peter Parker. Because a lot of what we have been experiencing in the MCU Peter is more or less Tony Stark Jr. That's like kind of the biggest gripe. And I mean, to an extent in this movie, he is still acting like Tony Stark Jr. He's inventing new things. He's kind of doing a lot of this sort of interesting tech stuff. He even has an AI companion, kind of like Jarvis. But I really do appreciate the sort of street levelness of this story. It's not really into the world. It's not an Avengers level threat. I think that's very interesting too, is how since this version of Peter is so connected with the wider superhero community, there are a lot of different superheroes that appear in this movie that add a different flavor depending on when they're in the film. My biggest gripe though is just like he's still not really that broke. And also some of the character dynamics, especially our main villain, for me did not really land. Although every other character interaction, the Punisher, Hulk, MJ, Ned, those are kind of the four that we really get to see Peter talk to. All are really great. And also one person that I'm remaining spoiler free on. But yes, I really did enjoy this movie. I would say probably about a 4.5 out of 5.
True. Yeah. Makes sense.
What did you think, Noah?
So I really, really love Tom's Spider-Man. Always have. I've always felt very I've seen myself in Tom Spider-Man a lot. He's the one that I really feel the like relatability with. I think he's literally my exact age in these films, right down to being born in like August 2002. And so it's always been really fun to watch him grow. And this movie in particular felt like him really coming into his own, while at the same time just being in the worst place that he could have possibly been in, and he played it so well. I think that the story about finding yourself after loss and kind of rebuilding who you are after so much grief, and then really trying to reach out to people and to stave off the just dangerous loneliness that can come with this being this age, really hit for me. I think that the wider MCU integration was pretty much perfect. His chemistry with Punisher was spot on. MJ and Ned, their being written back into the story didn't feel rushed or unearned at any point. And the use of the villain, which I think is going to be probably the most controversial aspect of this film in the future, was pretty much perfect for me. Was a story that was written to use this character in a relatable way for where Peter is at in his current moment. And I really had no problems with that. Maybe some minor quibbles here and there, but it was a 5 out of 5.
Wow. I thought this was a blast. Like Noah said, the character interactions are what's really sold it to me. The way that people interact with one another, both, again, the reintegration of the characters from the original 3, that I myself was a little worried that they would be rushed back into the story too quickly. It was done with a lot of grace and it's just really well done. I have my concerns with the villain, especially in how it might be setting up stuff for later, and how or if it will have any ramifications going forward. My guess is it'll just kind of get brushed to the side, some of the stuff that happens in this movie. But by and large, I think that it's, again, fantastic return to form. Everything feels the way that it's, I don't know, supposed to. It feels like a bad way to phrase that, but it feels right, man. It's Spider-Man to a T in a way that we haven't seen in a long time. I gave this a 4.5 out of 5 because there are some small things that I can kind of nitpick that don't make it flawless in my eyes, but they're minor enough that it doesn't really bother my final score. Just a little bit, but not enough to be substantial.
Sure. Seems like we are all very positive on this movie.
Oh, yeah.
The last time that we had a movie review was for Craven.
My God.
And I think this is a marginal improvement over Craven the Hunter.
Just a little bit. I think.
Yeah.
So do we want to just go ahead and dive into spoilers? I think we've all kind of given our spoiler-free thoughts. I don't think we can get much farther, even though we've only been doing this for like 10 minutes without just fully diving in. If you showed up to the Brand New Day episode without having seen Brand New Day, why?
Now's your chance to leave. You can go, you can leave, or you could stay for something a little bit later on in the podcast too.
Perhaps.
Perhaps. But yeah, let's get into spoilers.
Dude.
Alberto's in this.
Yeah, man, I was not expecting it.
Yeah.
So I got that call from Sony.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey, Noah, we watched the El Muerto episode. and we're really impressed. We want you to write just the little cameo scene for him.
Mm.
Like, as you know, the Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime show was meant to be kind of a
The
hint
announcement of his
his portrayal in this film, and we know that you handle that character so well. And it was wild because, yeah, I was like just in the bathroom when I got that DM. So very shocking. And so they flew me out to LA for like a day.
this is going on too long. This
Yeah,
is not,
it's
someone
really,
who's not in this
bro.
movie.
No, but
And,
Bad Bunny
uh,
is EOO is in
Bad
this.
Bunny has a song in this movie though.
yeah.
And
I
it's
didn't.
amazing.
Bad Bunny's not in this movie. I didn't write anything for him.
Yes, we know.
How can we?
We know, buddy.
Oh, but if I could dream, sigh. But yeah, that's my first spoiler that I wanted to talk about is the fact that Bad Bunny has some part in this for like a little bit. They don't even play the full song. We don't even get to him singing. And it's like only for about 15 seconds before it turns into like,
Yeah, it's just part of the instrumental, I think.
yeah, for a little bit before it just turns into actual Marvel music. Like the typical Spider-Man score.
Mhm.
Whoa, what the fuck is the EOO doing here?
Do we just want to kind of break down the plot and have our thoughts kind of peppered throughout as we break it down?
Sure.
So pretty much immediately we open with sort of a montage of Peter like in voiceover kind of reading out that letter, but at the same time he's fighting a bunch of like just really accurate designs and stills that are straight up just comic covers brought to life. And just it's literally page on screen stills in many different shots just look perfect. I think that a lot of those villains, as little as we see them, they look really good, dude. Except for one. Can you guess who I mean?
Scorpion.
No.
Tombstone?
Tombstone looked like ass, bro. What was that?
Tombstone.
I've got the photo here. I'm gonna forward this. Send it. I'm not even like necessarily a big Tombstone fan at all. What is this costume? I sent it in voice chat.
It's mobster.
No, they're not. No.
It's Spider Noir. It's classic 60s, 70s mobster outfit.
I'm sure that is an exact suit that he had on a comic cover. Like, I'm sure this is yet another, like, Tombstone is holding him up over a railing over the building, arm out like that. Just, I'm sure that's another just perfect, accurate comic cover brought to life. That's a bad outfit, dude. That's a bad outfit. I don't know. The shark teeth do not work. The hair does not work for me. The brown suit I did not like at all. I'm sorry. This is a really weird thing for me to just like kind of dog on all of a sudden at the beginning of the movie. 2 seconds it's on screen and I was like, what the hell? I'm sorry. I had to go find a picture when I walked out of the theater. I was like, what was that?
I didn't mind it. I don't know if I have any.
I thought it was
much to say
okay.
on this one.
I do not like this look. For what it is, as briefly as it's on screen, fine. Don't bring it back looking like this, please. That's all I ask.
I say we give Tombstone a techno suit like he's a Hammerhead in the video game.
Make him look like Insomniac, where he's just got a biker jacket on.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have to be
Biker gang.
doesn't have to be all that. Anyway, hard pass on the teeth. Did I mention the teeth? What the heck?
You did mention the teeth, yeah.
Shark teeth, bro. I'm sorry.
Yep. So,
Yeah.
The swinging is on point in this movie.
Swinging is
It's really
great.
good.
Yes.
Everything in the last 3 movies by comparison is a joke.
Dude, anytime that they went to a flashback from the Watts movies, it was like
it was so funny.
it was so funny. It's so jarring. Everything looked fake. I was like, what the fuck?
There was way more flashbacks than I expected there to be.
Well, I was like, well, this works because
Emotionally they hit.
Yeah, emotionally they hit. It's just the lighting, especially in the like the cafe scene, whenever it flashed back to the coffee shop. It was like, wow, that's some sitcom lighting right there, bud.
Did they have a filter over it to make it look like it was to make it clear that it was a flashback? I feel like there was some sort of like
There wasn't a
brighter,
filter.
brighter filter on it. I don't know.
There was not. It just looks that washed out. I don't even think those movies look terrible.
No, not necessarily.
They're just, they're just very flat.
Mhm.
Nothing too offensive generally, but I think compared to the sauce that DDC has added in this film with the saturation and the deep shadows and the just really almost like it looked almost like brushed on lighting in certain aspects to really give it that very bright and popping look. It was a very noticeable change, saying that in the most favorable way possible.
Yeah, it was night and day by comparison. We're never getting Shang-Chi 2, dude.
Next
Well,
week.
That might be a conversation for after this, like after we go through all of this movie, because I think we might be getting Shang-Chi 2 for one particular reason. But we'll get there in a bit.
Interesting.
So, yeah, we go through this montage. We see that Spider-Man is thriving. Peter is just not doing great by any stretch of the imagination. I think Tom looks the best he ever has in this movie. He is so built, but the hair is on point.
Mm-hmm.
The spider suit is gorgeous.
Excellent.
Mhm.
The best live action Spider-Man suit ever. The way it fits him, the way it moves, the way that he is in the Spider-Man suit fully masked for like I want to say 70% of the movie when he's on screen. It was incredible.
And they make a point of it like several times. He's not constantly taking off the mask to talk to people. It's very clear he's like, the mask stays on. It has to.
Yeah.
Especially when he goes to visit Yelena in her office.
Yeah,
Mhm.
office.
I like that.
I thought it was weird, but I was like,
I thought
okay.
it was funny. I thought it was really funny. That's the type of office I want for real.
She really is just pulling in the like Erin, my wife. She was like, "This is just the Russian mob boss angle."
I love how the cop later on is like, I had to run in with your Avenger friend to get some information. He's like, oh, how'd that go? She's like, my skin has never felt better. It's like, damn, that really is your office.
I think we've just been saying that is pretty measly potatoes to each other the entire
Measly
weekend.
potatoes. It's almost like demeaning talking. Like, not necessarily like her talking down to him, but very much like, you handle small stuff. This is not the Avenger stuff.
It's not Avengers.
You handle small potatoes.
We handle big potatoes, and you handle the small potatoes. These very very small potatoes.
We've already talked about this, but I love the dynamic that Punisher and Spidey have with one another. It's weird that they're so chummy. That to me,
Yeah.
I mean,
especially by the end, like he's like somebody says that they're friends, and Spidey says, "Is that what we are?" And they kind of just leave it that way. I'm like,
I thought the
know.
ending. I know we're kind of jumping a ways ahead, but like I saw this tweet, or maybe it was an Instagram post that was like, Frank probably was a really good dad, because when he's wearing that Spider-Man mask and he's standing at the window, I don't know, there was a part of me that kind of got a bit emotional. Like that was the one time I got emotional in the movie, because that's like, I've never heard Frank so happy.
that is the happiest that Frank has sounded, even if it's purposely put on. That's the happiest I've seen that man.
He was happy. Frank in this movie was just a revelation.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need more of the Frank Castle. To me, I really like a Frank Castle like this. This reminds me of like, this is just on the edge between the like 80s Frank Castle and then the like Marvel Knights. I could definitely see this Frank punching a polar bear, for instance.
Okay.
I was really thinking about the superhero squad scene with Frank
that
Castle,
one's so funny.
where he's just ranting about Brussels sprouts in the van while they're trying just to
criminals.
get somewhere.
This iteration of Punisher would definitely have that rant.
Oh yeah, 100%. But I just think that it's a really smart utilization of him to both have this year like the Punisher special to show that he's absolutely still the like grimdark Netflix version of Punisher that we all know and love. But this is such a great utilization to make sure that you're just like using the versatility of that he has as well as an actor and as a character, where this doesn't feel like really at odds with the Frank that we see in like Brand New Day or anything like that, but just kind of an evolution of that character where he's not really in his environment of fighting off like mobsters and serial killers and everything. In this, he's just kind of checking out his street block and keeps running into this really annoying kid that he kind of likes. And it's just so much fun. Really thought that his character also really spoke to Peter's arc in this, where Peter, throughout this movie, his big struggle is that he is beginning to mutate and being taken over by his more arachnid DNA because of the lack of balance that he has felt for the last 4 years. And so he has a particularly traumatic moment, and it is kind of the catalyst for his arachnid DNA to start taking over, to make him feel more monstrous, to give him some organic webs, which was amazing to watch.
Nasty.
And so he feels like he's becoming a monster, and whether or not he should give in to that or fully hide it. And so Frank, as his sidekick for this movie, is someone who has fully given himself over to that monster inside of him multiple times, but it has grown from that to the point where he's able to fight off his worst impulses for the most part, and has come to a better balance. But you could does the Punisher really ever have a better balance? But they learned from each other, and I thought that was really, really fun to see.
Every scene with Peter and MJ and Ned in this movie is great, dude.
It's so nice.
Just, it starts out like, oh, this is kind of funny in like an awkward way because he wants to be around them, but he can't like explain why, or doesn't want to explain why. So he just coming up with stories and like still interacting. And there are moments where it's like there's brief flashes of like what their friendship was like before that come through in conversation in little moments, but never quite until much later in the movie. That scene as well is so good.
When they're just kind of sitting on the floor building the 2021 X-Wing Starfighter.
Of course, you know which model it was.
Let me see. Luke Skywalker's X-Wing fighter number 75301 that came with pilot Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, John Dodonna, and R2D2.
You made a point when you got home after to look up which Lego set it was.
I knew which Lego set it was. You can ask my wife. I pointed it out immediately, which I have a qualm with because this set came out in 2021, and this movie takes place, I'm assuming, in like 2027 or 2028. Don't really know exactly. Which would mean that set at that point was like 6 years old.
Maybe Ned was saving it for a rainy day.
Well, it's highly unrealistic that Ned, as a like Spider-Man or like a Star Wars fan, the way he is, would have bought a set and then kept it for like 6 years. Especially since he would not have been able to buy it because he would have been still blipped at that point. And so the set would have come and gone long before he re-emerged from the blip in 2024.
Bro's biggest gripe is Lego related.
Unless he like bought it from like Bricklink or like a secondary seller and just kept it for that long, which I doubt. So because of that, this is a 0 out of 10. This is a 0.
Did you just kick him from the call, Jared? I told you every time you.
It doesn't mess up the audio, dude. It doesn't.
We gotta kill you, bro. Isn't it gonna make a second track for him? No. Oh god.
No, it'll be fine, dude. I promise.
There you are.
Oh, they kicked me.
They silenced him because he told the truth.
At what point did you kick me?
Right as you were the tail end of the combo.
Okay, that was a good scene. There were 4 times where I nearly teared up. Well, no, I did tear up where I nearly cried during this movie. That was one of them because
Mhm.
it reminded me of just sitting on the living room floor with my best friend building Lego. And goodness.
I was fine until the drawing.
Yeah.
Oh, the drawing.
Like
Yeah.
passing the drawing over, I was like, oh man.
You guys really look like best friends.
Damn.
Yep.
Gargan's back as the Scorpion here
He is.
as well. Part of the thing that I have an issue with the time jump is that a lot of stuff that I would have liked to have seen that happen, but
Sure.
I'm glad that it's here at least.
He's probably
little
not sure
bit-
how he got here. Has to do with Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, I think. I'm gonna die. It's weird. Another one. Hulk in general in this movie definitely feels like a contractual obligation character. Like we need to put an Avenger in this movie legally. So we have a reason for him to be here. Let's add him in. He feels like the most like if this character were not here, Peter would have developed the inhibitor on his own still, and then the plot would still continue. There just wouldn't be like a second act, like a late second act big fight set piece while Punisher was possessed, but that could easily again just be something else. But again, glad he was there.
I think they justified it perfectly well.
Yeah, they do
like,
justify it. It's not unjustified, but it's definitely if he was not there, the plot would continue as is.
Sure.
Without many hiccups and like the most minor of rewrites.
Sure.
But
I do
he
think
does improve the story in my opinion.
Like Peter going to him because his own inhibitor is such a like famous piece of technology at this point. That Peter would like if he wanted to pull himself back, like that would make sense that he would go to Banner to ask about that. And then he works thematically because he is also someone who has struggled with this monster emerging time after time from himself that he tries to hold back. And he almost is like the devil on Peter's shoulder in this one because like he's the one that he doesn't encourage Peter to like get the inhibitor, but he's the one that like is the example of this inhibitor working. So that means that probably would work for Peter.
He's kind of both because he makes it clear when the idea of like when Peter brings up like this could potentially even be like a universal inhibitor. He's like, well, hold on now.
Yes, definitely. I really respect the fact that he wasn't just Savage Hulk immediately, and that we still had Professor Hulk for a bit until Jean messing with him is what kind of unlocked Savage Hulk again.
Jean Grey, dude.
Well, real quick, before we get into Jean, I think we should continue talking about like some of the more Spider-Man characters, like MJ in this film. I think she was used so well. Zendaya is a great actress, and I really, really love that they did not just put them back together immediately.
Yeah, it's the way that their dynamic ends is in a way that like it feels almost very Guardians 3 in a way.
It does.
Where it's like that is not the same person that I am now. And we're not going to just have what you had with them before just because. Like it's heartbreaking. It's like, oh man, but it makes sense. And maybe they'll start to love one another again as time goes on. Maybe it's over.
She did have the Dahlia necklace at the end. So
did she?
She did when she was sitting on the roof at the very end when it is.
Yeah, and she's crying. Isn't
like
she?
She's teary-eyed and she's got the Dahlia necklace in her hand.
See, so. I do wonder if maybe Jean had put in a little bit of the memories that Ned and her had with Peter pre the wish.
It's possible.
Maybe not all the memories, but like just a little bit of the seeds because Ned happens to remember the secret handshake.
I mean, the theory that I've seen is that like we saw that Jean ended up unlocking Savage Hulk inside of Bruce, who had been repressed for so many years at this point. So if she was able to unlock that for Bruce, it's possible that she unlocked repressed hidden memories in Ned and MJ during the time freeze or whatever that they're gonna be calling this one.
I like the idea, especially with the handshake at the end. We're jumping ahead, but that on some level that was still like muscle memory for Ned.
Yeah,
But like even as it's happening, he doesn't remember. Like he's looking at his own hand. He's like, "What do I know what this is?" And he's like shocked and surprised. And I think it's like on some level, like it is there. It's just repressed essentially. So whether or not Jean is what sort of brought those back up to the surface or not, I'm not entirely sure. But I like the idea of like Ned, like on some level, even the magic couldn't like fully get rid of everything.
True Love's kiss doesn't work, but the bro shake does.
The True Love's kiss thing makes me feel so gross, and I don't know how to feel about the implications of that.
You're supposed
And
to.
also MJ's response to it. It's disgusting. But to me, I feel like MJ should have had a bit more of a like, that's kind of fucked up, insanely fucked up reaction to it.
I think they handled that really well, actually.
Yeah, I thought she handled that really maturely.
Both of them. Like, to have...
Mature of him to be like, hey, just thought I'd let you know that is
Yeah.
a thing that happened. And she's like, oh, okay. Like, thank you for
Like,
telling me.
She had read that whole, like his whole message, and so she knew what he had wanted for so long, and like they'd had that conversation. But part of Peter saying that was like being honest with, this is what I wanted, but it wasn't fair to you. And so I want to let you know so that just so you are aware. And I think that new MJ took that as a sign that he wasn't going to keep trying to make them happen after they had that conversation. So she just like took that very appreciatively, and she was like, thank you for telling me.
Makes sense. I see it now.
Like that was the maturity for both of them to have that little bit. But then also that was really important mechanically for MJ to reveal like how Jean's powers actually work, and for Peter to be like, wait a second, shady government leader was lying to me.
Another MJ Frank moment. I just remembered the like, do you have an anti-static mat, micro tools, and whatever? And he's like, I got all those things. He's like, what the hell do you need micro tools for? And MJ immediately bombs, and he snaps his fingers and points at her, and like, bingo. And he's like, oh god. Like MJ and Frank on some level are like same headspace in a way.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing. I really, really loved that MJ and Ned were their same characters. Like MJ still has her like frankness, her dark sense of humor. Ned is still a huge nerd, but like they're the mature versions of themselves in that way. And so I just felt that their writing was really, really well done.
Yeah. Frank is also terrified of the Hulk, which is hilarious.
Yes. His realization that he is street level.
I love how he went in full on just unloading the whole magazine into Banner Hulk, Professor Hulk. And at a certain point, like he's yelling at Spidey, and then Hulk comes running, and he's like, "Oh shit!"
Oh, good.
It's like, you just don't want to fight the Hulk, and he's like, "Yeah, you're right.
I guess so.
Yeah, you're not wrong."
So that means both Frank and Matt have taken a Hulk.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh. Moving on.
Hell, I liked it. Hell, I loved it. I mentioned it to him again. I mentioned.
I'm so upset there wasn't a let me tell you something.
Yeah. It's almost like they
He did say
noticed
something similar to that though.
I feel like some executives are starting to catch on, and they're like, and because people are memeing about it online, they're like, dude, you gotta stop.
I did love the Staten Island bit.
Yeah, I want to know what happened there. I want to know what happened on Staten Island. When I eventually
It's Budapest.
It's the new Budapest.
Well, no, but like when it's available on digital, I want to be able to like listen to the subtitles and like hear what both Peter and Frank are saying, like
I
when
don't
they're
think it's gonna
talking over
help.
one
I
another,
think they're just arguing.
it might give some idea.
I think it said something about Frank nearly getting shot, but I think that was it. That was it, dude.
It's so funny that this is taking place like probably a handful of months after One Last Kill.
Don't you be bringing up Staten Island.
I want to imagine that Staten Island is like the first thing that happened after he left his daughter's grave at the end of One Last Kill. He's like, okay. He's just driving around. He ends up at Staten Island, almost dies, meets Spider-Man. He's like, God, I hate that kid.
We didn't even get any one batch, two batch, penny and a dime.
No, we didn't. We do get one moment of the photos in like the like mirror thing, mirror shelf thing in the boat.
That was
cabinet.
great.
That was cool. The same actors, by the way, is the photos and everything are of the same people.
It's awesome.
So, Jean Grey.
Jean Grey, dude. I can't. It's so surreal. Like Sony's really bad at being able to hide these leaks. Like notoriously bad. Every
Yes.
time that they want to set up a big reveal, it's the worst kept secret in Hollywood until the movie comes out. And it still was so surreal to see her name pop up when the search came up with a
Yep.
result. It's like they got Jean Grey, dude. Oh my gosh.
Jean Elaine Grey.
Who I didn't know had a sister.
Yeah, me neither.
Is that comics?
Yes, there is she's
Okay.
very a minor character. She was never a mutant in the comics, to my understanding. She had like some like telepathic or like empathic abilities, but it wasn't a mutation.
Okay. Good to know.
I think she was established in the 80s and died in the 90s or something. But she was an adult. It wasn't like she died as a kid. So that's new. But I was like, oh, I had to look it up when I left. I was like, a sister? Sarah Grey? I had to look it up. It's like, I didn't know about this.
My friends all kind of looked at me because I'm the resident comic nerd. They were like, "Who's Sarah?" Because earlier it was mentioned like I think Metzger just goes, "Oh, Sarah. Yes, I know who Sarah is." My friend Judd looks at me and he's like, "Who's Sarah?" Like, I don't know. When it's revealed that it's Jean Grey's sister, I faked it. I went, "Yeah. Jean has an older sister." And he went, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah, yeah."
Of course.
Just complete bullshit.
Everybody knows this.
Yeah,
You gotta keep up the reputation, dude.
Yeah, he doesn't listen to this podcast. He'll never know.
You didn't know that Jean Grey had a sister? Fake
No,
fan.
I know. I don't have time to read X-Men. I'm too busy reading nonfiction literature about how to improve my life. In all the books, it says, "Do not read X-Men." 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, number 6.
They're all written by William Stryker.
Yeah. How to Win Friends and Influence People, chapter 4. Do not read X-Men.
You will make no friends if you read X-Men.
All About Love by Bell Hooks. It says, chapter 2, those who read X-Men do not know love.
Those who read X-Men do not know love.
So yeah, I don't know anything about Sarah Grey.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So Jean is unquestionably still a villain here, right?
I
Like,
think she's an antagonist. I wouldn't say unquestionably a villain.
She kills people.
We are about to get an insane amount of discourse on like Twitter and shit on the same scale as the Scarlet Witch.
We absolutely are.
Like Jean Grey did nothing wrong is going to be trending.
Which is funny because Jean and Wanda are so difficult to talk about.
Uh-huh.
I think she is the villain in this movie. But for the most part, it's just damage control, except that one guy she lets get hit by the taxi.
Yeah, that's my big like what the hell moment. I can even forgive like the emotional manipulation of controlling MJ because she believes that he is just a lackey for damage control and on some level just wants to fuck with him because she knows she has no love for damage control, obviously. The guy on the street who gets backed into the street and hit by a car was entirely unnecessary. It's a cool moment in the like as you're watching. That is the moment that is most seared into my brain about this entire movie. I'm like that.
It's pretty brutal.
I don't know if you can walk that back, dude.
Once again, I think it does. It makes sense for where she's at, where she hates humanity at this point. Like this is full on like mutant and proud without any of those like labels at the moment yet.
Mhm.
And so she just really doesn't believe that anybody human cares for her at this point. And so she really doesn't care what kind of trauma she's causing because she's just on a warpath.
It worked for me in the theater at the like as I was watching it, but I'm really hoping that they address this moving forward. And my suspicion is that they will pretend like they will really brush it under the rug.
That particular
It'll be like a
probably.
Parallax thing, and that's secretly the Dark Phoenix persona vaguely possessing her.
And the first X-Men movie is Dark Phoenix.
Yes, third time's a charm, baby.
Third time's a charm.
That's the next point I wanted to bring up. I don't think we're ever going to get Dark Phoenix.
Oh no, we better not, dude. We don't need it again.
No, I mean, we're not going to get like the Phoenix either. Like the cosmic fire being.
You think she's just gonna be Marvel Girl?
I think she's just going to be a really powerful, angry telepath. Like her arc will be where like her powers are still evolving and getting more powerful. She learns to be able to control them and harness them more, but do not piss her off because she won't snap necessarily, but she has crazy powers. Do not fuck with her.
I think that there's a big possibility that we will finally get a proper Phoenix saga, one that's like built up and not just like the third movie or the second movie. I think that by the time that like Sadie Sink is like 30, we might have a like Phoenix like fully in the MCU. This kind of helps build towards that.
I feel like in my like based on what we've seen so far, and we haven't seen much, so obviously it could go any which way in the future. I feel like the Phoenix is just going to be her X-Men code name. Like up until the Dark Phoenix saga, she was just Jean Grey, and then Dark Phoenix saga happened, and everybody just calls her Phoenix now. It's just a moniker she goes by. I think her code name will just be Phoenix, and it's like if she gets really mad and decides she wants to go on a warpath, then she will dial it up to 11. Ha, funny. And just go full 110% with her powers and just remind everybody just how strong she is if she gets really mad. And I don't think you cast Max from Stranger Things if you don't want her to be the smarmy smartass.
Oh, for sure.
Which Jean normally isn't.
I think Sadie was really good in this role.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a different take for Jean based on anything I've ever seen or read, which is why I think that the characterization they're going for is incorporating the more unhinged side of her Phoenix persona into her character from page one or moment one. Well, we'll see. This kind of brings me into a larger conversation I want to have about where you guys think this might kind of point to how the MCU will deal with X-Men as a concept.
So Spider-Man is Oppenheimer, having just created the inhibitor that will be used against every mutant going forward throughout the next few years of MCU history, which is really funny. I think that this means that they're going with the option that mutants have just kind of always existed, and places like Damage Control have been hiding for a very long time, or at least have been aware of them. And I don't know exactly like what the catalyst is for so many starting to come out of the woodwork. I think that will probably be revealed at some point, or they're just going to be like, yeah, they've always been here. I think what we're seeing is a world that has been grown up to conditioned to love the Avengers, to love Spider-Man at this point, but you're gonna have the most high-profile mutants right now are Jean at this point, Namor, and Kamala. Kamala is a hero. and that seems to be the case. But then there's Namor and Jean, who both have caused huge losses of life at this point. And where I think it's going to go is that legislators, like a Senator Kelly, are going to use this to say, we have our heroes, but they were not born with them. They were self-made people. They were given these powers by some chance, but they were established people. They knew what to do with them and became heroes in and of themselves. But the people who were born with these powers, they are born with them in such a way that it makes them unstable. And
I'm going to build off that point here because this is kind of, we're getting closer to why I brought this up in the first place and what I wanted to say. I think, again, it's too early to say for certain what they're going to do. I think the MCU's whole deal with mutants will just be that it'll be an extension of the reason that the Sokovia Accords existed.
Yeah.
But the specific argument will be that they are children. Right? Children born with the powers.
That. Yeah.
But like the big issue that everybody has isn't necessarily like a race superiority, fear of being outclassed or overtaken by the other necessarily, but more of a like this kid, like, hey, a 12-year-old boy has the power to level buildings if he cries too loud. That's not okay. That's scary. And so the idea of superpowered people turns because now people are being born with them and they don't know how to control them. And that's where the fear comes in of mutants specifically.
I think that would actually really work for the moment of do it for the children in a sense, which has always been used and especially is being used nowadays in ways that are like explicitly fear-mongering and meant to kind of cloak the kind of legislation and political moves and everything that would otherwise be very clearly seen overreaches of power or just kind of evil in ways that is like basely playing to people's biggest fears of like, you want your children to be safe. We need to make sure that other people's children are not hurting yours.
Right. Doing so, and this is kind of the other hand to this, because on paper, I think that it could work. It does sort of bypass some of the bigger allegories that the X-Men have been in the past, which is allegories for racism and homophobia and similar things. Just prejudice against minorities and the LGBTQ community. I feel like this would, if they went this route, a lot of people would consider them a bit cowardly for trying to find a different avenue than just making it what it is in the comics. And I can't say I entirely blame them if they go this route. I feel it's still too early to know if that's what they're going to do in general with the X-Men as a concept. And I do think that there are things to say with that avenue, but I do worry that if that's the way they're going, how the public would react to that.
Sure. I think there's ways, I mean, you could absolutely, I think that like the allegories that the X-Men are known for can still work within that framework though.
I think so.
Like, have we never heard they're turning the children in like use cases of racism, homophobia, and all of that? Like, if you let your kids listen to DEI or everything, you're gonna turn them into liberals.
Go woke, go broke mindset. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like it's that mentality. I think it could still work, but some people are going to be mad regardless of how they do anything.
X-Men are deeply personal characters to a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
And so I think everybody kind of has their own view of what the X-Men represent.
And everybody's curious what the MCU is going to do.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. But if Jean is an indication of what's going on, what the future might look like in terms of mutants in the MCU, I think it's disillusioned kids with the government and the system who have been manipulated by it and like controlled by it in ways that are invasive and not okay from a young age.
Which, frankly, I think that might be perfect for where we are right now.
And that could also be the angle you go with, is that older people are like, oh, the kids want to tear everything down. They want to destroy everything that we've had, all this history, all this legacy. And it's like, yeah, because it sucks.
Yeah.
Bad. Which is also a very real sentiment now. So again,
Oh yeah.
it could really work. I don't know. We'll have to see how they take things. It could be totally different when they finally get into this.
It truly depends on how hard they're willing to go on certain points.
At the end of the day, are we ready to get into kind of the ending of this of the movie itself and kind of start to head towards post credits?
Sure.
I've heard it said that the Mindscape memories that cause people to cry in the third act is going to start becoming a superhero movie trend. What do we think?
Like,
We did it in Lethal Protectors.
yeah,
Yes, we did it.
I
We did it, and Thunderbolts did it.
I messaged Noah about this when I was writing Solo. My original outline for Solo Act 3 involved when Carnage is like dipping his tongue into Solo's ear, they were going to have a battle in the mind. And then Andy had talked me out of it because we had done it in Lethal Protectors, and also Thunderbolts had just did it.
Wait, frick, I did this in Kane.
Oh my god.
It's what is the obsession with the mind?
I don't know. The next time we have to write a battle, it needs to be like set of mind, maybe the body, physical.
Like physical, like an actual fight.
Like an actual fight with bruises.
If you will allow me to put on my psychologist hat really quickly, I think that this speaks to the current kind of all-encompassing fear of general anxiety, of depression, of not being able to trust your own mind, having that separation from the outside world that comes with kind of the digital age right now, where people just feel separate from their own thoughts and feelings. And so having these Mindscape kind of duels reveals kind of how we feel about our own thoughts and whether or not we feel like we are in control of our mind. And the heroes being able to conquer that shows that what we aspire to be, these heroes, we can be like them in taking control of what we think and feel, and putting that forward into the outside world once we are able to win in that sense.
Aunt May coming in clutch in this movie from beyond the grave, dude.
That was the third time that I nearly cried.
Well, that was second for me.
I didn't cry at all.
Liar.
No.
Did you get close? Anything make you go, oh, damn? At least
just the Frank part at the end when he's cheering on everybody.
Yeah.
That's fair. I respect that.
That was good.
The drawing, I was fine that whole scene with the Legos until she showed him the drawing. And I was like, aw. The mental conversation Jean has with Aunt May.
Yeah.
Specifically when Jean takes Peter's place in that scene. I was like, oh boy, here we go. And again, Sadie Sink nails that scene and just the role in general there. Peter in the crowd of fans supporting Spidey when he's trying to sneak out of the hospital. So sweet.
The kid?
Yeah, the kid and just the larger crowd in general.
I don't know if this was a brain rotted take, but I saw somebody say that kid was actually Jean Grey, like possessed that kid to say goodbye to him. And I don't know if I believe that.
Know. I think it's just cute.
I doubt it. I think it's just cute.
Worst brain rotted take that was Miles.
What? Oh my god. Dude, there's a blonde girl in this movie.
Yes, I know.
And this person next to me went, that's Gwen Stacy. Bro, no, it's not.
There's a horrible tendency right now in the MCU to see any blonde and any male of darker skin and be like, whoa, it's Gwen, whoa, it's Miles.
Okay, brief tangent. This is a larger issue with a lot of different franchises right now.
Yes, it is.
I think the whole thing, like Glup Shido, people's whole, like, it's a meme because people are like, hey, this obscure character who's in the background and looks funny is actually has this really deep lore and is important later in his other project. That whole concept of a character, that's not a bad thing. That makes the world interconnected and cool. 2, the issue is not that there are people who are knowledgeable about that. It's that there are a lot of people who think they are and are just flat out wrong and stupid.
Yeah.
Somebody
that
points
is-
to a background character and they go, "That's Gwen Stacy." When it's not, you're just souring it for everybody else. Shut up. If you don't know what you're talking about, shut up.
There
Yeah.
was straight up a Cindy Moon cameo in this movie, though.
Was there?
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah,
Yep. In
Cindy.
Bruce's class, there's an Asian girl who raises her hand to talk, and Bruce goes, "Yes, Cindy, what is it?" And she's the one who asks about Thanos. Why didn't he just make more food?
He should have answered that question.
He should have. I
It-
would have loved to hear the philosophical.
I would have loved for them to like put that to bed in that scene. Just be very, very brief about it. It's like he thought he had the moral high ground. He thought he was teaching everybody a lesson.
Yes, he
Just
did not
say that instead
did
of
not
pointing
go
to
that
the
way
painted
because-
kid who just yells Hulk smash. Like what?
He did not go that way because he's a sociopath he's a sociopathic narcissist who thinks that he's the only one who has the right answers. He's a villain.
Also, I don't even know if that's necessarily Cindy Moon either. Like, yes,
It's an
Asian
girl named Cindy.
woman named Cindy does not mean Cindy Moon. Now,
French-looking dude named Peyton doesn't mean it's me.
if he had said Ms. Moon, I would buy it.
Dog,
Yeah.
this is the Venom cockroach debate all over again.
Yes, it is, and I still stand by the first one, and I stand by this one too.
I think you're dumb.
I don't. Never before
Ew.
has Noah just straight up been like, "I think you're stupid and bad."
If it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's Cindy Moon. Anyway, yeah, this movie ended so well. Punisher shoots the 360 no scopes Peter Parker in the back.
Yeah,
Let me
dear
tell
Take
you
God.
some red.
Did you think he was gonna die?
No,
In the moment, I was like, "They're not gonna kill Peter Parker." What? No.
It would have been kind of lit. I would have been down for it.
That would have been crazy.
I think I
would've
would have
been
been
in
down
theater
for it.
and
In the
Follow
moment
up with
and
Punisher by him being like, I killed Spider-Man and everybody's after me because I killed Spider-Man.
then-
No J. Jonah Jameson, by the way.
that is true.
Good.
Damn.
Okay.
I'm not crazy about that take. Like, I think they just
Yeah, I agree with
the
you.
MCU's Jonah, I'm not crazy about it. They just kind of made him Alex Jones.
Yeah,
It's like,
in
I get it. You could have recast him maybe, and I
I
would be more okay with it. Don't.
I do
just
think it
bring
was
back,
the like J.K. Simmons shock value at the end of Far From Home
yeah.
that I don't think is paid off. Like it should have been a different. J.
Like
Jonah
I remember
actor.
because that whole movie has to deal with like multiversal shenanigans. I remember people seeing that in the theater, and there were rumors around that was the Raimi Jameson. It's like, no, dude, shut up.
Yeah.
Like just idiotic takes from people across the board all the time, always. Shut up.
We're comic fans. We don't have good takes.
for real, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, Peter in the crowd of people and sneaking out of the hospital and just be surrounded by people who are like making it clear how much they care about Spidey and just love him. It's like, dang,
That's
powerful.
the stuff right there.
More powerful than the train scene. Train scene Spider-Man 2, buns by comparison. Yeah, I said it.
He's just a man, no older than my friend Terry.
What? No.
That's the fucking Weekly Planet reference. When they're watching
Yeah.
they're doing the Caravan of Garbage and they're like also in Spider-Man 2.
That's a man. That's a man.
You mess with
That's a
one of us,
man.
you mess with all of us, buns by comparison.
Dang. You know, for a guy that knows a lot about Spider-Man.
Yeah. For a
I
guy
hate
who
you.
has a podcast about Spider-Man, what do you think about post-credit scene?
So what do we think about this?
I think that is Spider-Man being transported to Battle World.
Yeah, I think that's the
Yeah.
most obvious take is that it's like most obvious answer to me anyway. He's being put on Battle World or he's being sent over to whatever world is about to have an incursion. I'm pretty
I'm-
confident he's not in Doomsday, so that's just him being blipped over from into Secret Wars.
My friend
Yeah.
thought that there was a Spider-Verse glitch that happened.
Yeah, I heard that as
momentarily.
well. People, the glitching of the app, people were like Spider-Verse, which could tell you, hey, maybe it's. I don't know. I don't think we're getting Miles. Like, I don't think we're getting anything animated in Secret Wars. But perchance Tobey Maguire, perchance Andrew Garfield.
It'd be funny if this was like Sony's way of being like, yeah, he can't be in Doomsday. We're throwing him into Spider-Verse 3 and you can't have him.
We told you to play with the Venom toy and you put him back in the box. Now you can't play with Spider-Man.
Last night, I saw a tweet and I sent it to Jarrett, and it was a person basically saying since this version of Spider-Man, Ned is essentially his Genki, and similarly, there's other plot lines that are more Miles Morales like in this version of Spider-Man. Then when Miles joins the MCU, his friend should be low-key kind of rich and maybe have a guy that's kind of a Norman.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I'm like sitting there like, yo,
I would genuinely
wait.
love that take. If we save a lot of the Raimi villains, Raimi and Tasm villains for Miles rather than later on in Peter's career as Spider-Man, I'm down. I actually think that would be a cool way to kind of twist the origins a bit.
I wouldn't mind that. See how Miles handles all of the biggest villains. Yep.
Somebody joked that it's a different, that he's out in space because it's a different Earth that's about to crash into ours, like the incursion is happening, and that it's detecting a different Spider-Man on that Earth. That's
possible. I could see that. Maybe it's Toby.
Somebody joked that it's the Venomverse, I remember. Because it's just like, what if the first thing that we see in Doomsday is an incursion taking place, and it's the Sony Venomverse being obliterated by like the 03 Daredevil verse or something.
Gosh.
And they both just take one another out.
Hey, 03 Daredevil is canonically dead. So
we will never get 03 Daredevil again, please. If they give Affleck enough money, I'm sure he'll come back.
No, he's canonically dead.
He can still be in Secret Wars, you know that.
He's canonically dead. Jennifer Garner Electra said so.
Wouldn't be the first time.
And she didn't seem to mind all that much. You guys want to be wrapping it up?
Yeah, that was pretty much our discussion on Spider-Man Brand New Day. Pretty solid movie.
Love that movie.
Great film. Wonderful motion picture. You can see it in the theaters right now.
Do it. Be it an IMAX.
It is. I think it's going to be one of those movies that is better to see in a theater than maybe at home. Though I am excited to see it at home too.
Yeah,
because we come to these theaters to laugh, cry.
Noah, you make me upset.
Because somehow heartbreak
feels good in a place like this.
You make me mad.
Anyway, so we've been hard at work on Maximum Clonage. Formerly called Lethal Protectors 2: Maximum Clonage, but I think we're just probably going to switch to simply Maximum Clonage. It's evolving to be less so about the people you saw in the first Lethal Protectors movie and kind of more of a focus on the clones themselves.
I still think we should call it Lethal Protect 2s.
Lethal Protect 2s.
Brother.
I don't like that. No. No. Anyways, we wanted to kind of give y'all a little treat. Probably in like 2 weeks or so, hopefully we will have like enough stuff written for us to create a trailer. And then eventually the episode will be releasing soonish. We might continue to fill with some more content between now and then, depending on how it goes. Anywho, we want to give y'all a little treat. So we're going to read y'all the opening scene for Maximum Clonage. Alrighty. Picking up from the end of Ben Reilly, the Scarlet Spider, we see Ben, played by Jacob Timothy Manaud, board a bus. He scoots down the rows of people. His duffel bag hits some people, and some look at him funny.
Oh, sorry. So sorry.
He sits at an empty seat in the back. The bus takes off, rolling down the street. He takes out a sketchbook, drawing new suit designs, specifically one of him in a sleeveless hoodie. He nods. This is the one. The bus takes him to Boston, Massachusetts. He hops off and checks himself into a motel, the kind of place that doesn't ask for ID. The receptionist looks at him. Name? Ben tries to smile.
Ben Reilly.
The receptionist misspells Riley. He hands all the cash that he has, and she hands him a key. He steps into his room, drops his bag, and sits at the edge of his bed.
Well, time to get to work.
Montage. Ben opens his bag and grabs a box of hair dye. He also takes out his phone and pulls up a video of some lady bleaching her hair. He sighs.
What? You can't just dye it?
Ben is seen in a store, grabbing the necessary powders and materials to bleach his hair. He checks out, the cashier stares at him, blows a bubble, and hands him a bag.
You're not...
I don't want to bag anything today.
Oh, okay.
Ben's back in the motel, kneeling over the bathtub as water runs. He's groaning.
It burns. It burns.
Ben sits, his hair now crisp white. His eyes are squinted shut. He opens them, and he's standing on top of the tallest building in Boston. He clasps his web slingers over his wrists and listens to the wind as he puts on his mask. He dives. Ben, hair fully dyed now, sits in a van that takes his photo. They hand him a fake ID. Ben Riley, Riley, once again, with Riley misspelled.
Thanks.
Ben gets a job at Starbucks. He works on his costume. He swings through the city, a fully red suit with a blue sleeveless hoodie on. He lands in front of some muggers and quickly dispatches them. He doesn't say a word. The person that was getting mugged looks to the sky as he swings away. Thanks? Ben swings around Boston, which is not really a swingable city. He talks on the phone with Uncle Ben, played by Adam Scott.
So, how's Boston?
I mean, it's fun. I dyed my hair.
You dyed your hair?
Yeah, it burned.
Ben, you have to be careful.
How's Peter?
He's fine. He doesn't really know the whole I've been cloned thing yet, but he'll be okay, I think. Weirder things have happened to him, to our family. You know, your aunt was a...
Bye. Yeah.
Yeah, God, what a crazy life us Parkers lead. Say, what are you doing Christmas?
Probably working. Why?
Come back, just for the weekend. We'll go to Aunt Cassie's, have dinner. Peter can meet you then. It'll be fun.
Ben smiles.
Sure.
Brief moment from before the holiday special where Ben hugs his uncle.
Okay, here's what I'm thinking. Should be a surprise. It'll be fine, right?
Ben nods.
I know Peter because I was Peter. Surprises are probably way easier to digest than the alternative. Actually, I don't know what the alternative would be. Telling anyone that they have clones is a surprise in and of itself, and oh man, I'm actually kind of nervous.
We see some of the stuff from the holiday special, the fight that breaks out at the dinner table, Santa breaking in, revealing herself to be Janine Godby / Hallows Eve, played by Sophie Nélisse, and Ben chases after her. He runs to the door of a penthouse apartment, and he sees another clone of himself, but this one is a girl, Jessica Drew, played by Nicole Maines. Felicia Hardy is there, played by Mikey Madison.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's all a bit of a surprise. Can we just have a decent holiday? Ben looks at Felicia.
Hey, I remember you. You were Peter Prime's ex. The one and only.
Janine looks at him. Ben kind of gets nervous at all of this, and he holds his hand out to her.
Ben Riley. Spelled with an E-I, though my fake ID spells it without an E.
You're a weird dude, Ben Riley, but I kind of like it.
She shakes his hand. Ben's face blushes. Night. Ben is talking to his uncle outside.
So you got her?
Yeah, but I let her go.
Oh, gosh. I remember the Daily Bugle article with Spider-Man seemingly letting the Black Cat go.
His uncle smiles at Ben.
Someone has a crush.
Ben seems unsure.
I think I'm gonna stay here now. Boston is kind of boring. Would that be alright?
In the house?
No, I'll find somewhere else. But I think there may be more opportunities here, especially with finding people that can make a better fake.
The Bens laugh. Months later, Ben and Janine are at dinner.
So, I make up this mask with a hard hat and a paper plate, and I become this construction worker. When I went in, you should have seen the conditions of this Fisk building. It's dangerous, Ben. It's going to completely crumble. So I sent images to Robbie, and, well, anyway, he's releasing an article next week.
It's awesome.
He smiles, reaches across the way, and holds her hand.
I got some good news, too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, gone are the days of Ben Riley barista extraordinaire. Got a job with Oscorp.
Janine's face falls.
Oscorp?
Yeah, I know, they're pretty shady, but listen, it'll be good money. I'll be working on their Collider project.
Janine tries to smile.
Well, that's wonderful, sweetie.
Yeah, isn't it? Norman Osborn was even at my interview. He seems to have a decent head on his shoulders. Cool ideas for what a super collider could do for the energy consumption in the city, you know? Maybe one day we can all get dressed up in our fanciest clothes. I'll have to rob Pete's closet, and you get to meet him.
Cut to black. Yeah, that's our opening scene.
Intriguing.
Dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun,
Anytime new information is brought onto this podcast, my only response will always be intriguing.
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 Did y'all know that this guy Jared Leto is actually a bad dude?
Let's not get into that. Okay, guys. So,
thank you guys so much for listening. This has been has to do with Spider-Man. I think we're
not
still
even
in the
a
middle
bad
of
guy, awful
to,
guy.
We're still in the middle of trying to get lethal or maximum clonage hammered out. It's gonna take a little while. We kind of got sidetracked. We developed we did write an outline, and then we've kind of fallen back on the outline, and we're kind of second guessing it and rewriting portions of it. I don't think it's a page one rewrite necessarily, but it's getting an overhaul. But most importantly, we just want to get this done and out to you guys in the best condition it can be. So we'll try and update more on the Discord. Be sure to join that if you're interested in any updates, and we'd love to hear from you as you go through the podcast for the first time. We've had some new fans trickle in slowly, which we are very grateful for. Thank you all so much for listening. And of course, follow the Blue Sky, follow the Instagram if you're looking for anything new as well to hear from us. But until then, my name is Jarrett.
I'm Peyton.
And I'm Noah.
Thank you guys again for listening. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.